Hello? Hello? Hi. So, yeah, I'm Dr. Lewis Sampson. I'm a research software engineer for UKRI, Science and Technology Facility Council. I work on a team called DAFNI. Today I'm going to be talking through our journey of going from an old cluster to a NewNewNewCluster. With that button. Okay, so what is DAFNI? So just a quick overview of DAFNI. DAFNI is a web platform, and it's aiming at assisting national infrastructure researchers to collaborate and develop and then execute sort of a systems-to-systems models all through the web platform. It's government funded in 2017. We've had a variety of different funding streams since then, and we focus on engaging between government, industry, and academia, all under sort of one platform. So what is old cluster and NewNewNewCluster? Obviously, these are Kubernetes clusters. These are built in on-premises hardware. So old cluster was where DAFNI started. It was a building block for the web application. Everything was developed there. The Kubernetes platform was developed at the same time. And there wasn't necessarily a lot of best practices. Kubernetes was quite young at the time. And so we ended up creating a lot of like workaround tools, so bespoke tools in Go, coded a long time ago and just worked as sort of black boxes, manually managed virtual machines for our network file systems, and that was how we managed persistent volume claims. The people working on it were contractors that have come and gone, and the original systems architect has now also left the team. And so essentially a lot of lost information based on how old cluster was set up. New cluster, we've had various different versions of NewCluster. So we had New, and NewNewNew, more officially referred to as version 2, 3, and 4. But the reason we had multiple versions was that we ended up with delays. There wasn't focus in terms of people power, like onto the movement onto new cluster, while maintaining the old cluster. It's caused loads of issues. Clusters were delayed and then eventually crashed. And now we've eventually ended up with version 4, which is what we've got at the moment. And this has been with this cluster, we've brought a lot of positive changes with it. So now we're actually managing our Kubernetes deployments through Flux, through GitOps. So we've got redeployable resources through that, which has been a great improvement. We've removed the reliance on a lot of internal tools. We've picked up new technologies like Cilium, Gateway. And then within SDFC, there's some cloud resources that we've been able to benefit from that we use within our cluster. In terms of working with collaborations, we've got scientific computing department, which is underneath SDFC. So we've got shared knowledge across groups within that, and we've actually got like a dedicated systems team for maintaining the hardware while we've done all these migrations and improvements. Essentially, our experience was that upgrading was going to be impossible because we had left our old cluster for too long, and a simple upgrade was going to break everything. The bespoke tools were going to break, and there wasn't a possibility. The only thing we could do was to create a new cluster. When you're trying to like maintain this old cluster and bring up a new one, the biggest thing that's found is like people are really important. Like you need to prioritize this. You need to prioritize people. Because of that, we ended up with delays. Delays led to outages, and then outages led to crashes, and we're starting the whole process all over again. But we've ended up with some good quality best practices. So we've got good quality documentation. Flux, as it is kind of like a self-documented resources, and it's redeployable. New technologies always comes with benefits, and making use of the internal collaborations that we didn't have at the beginning. What we can do now is we can deploy our cluster anywhere. So we've got this opportunity to move from in-premises or on-premises to into the cloud in the future. And the other thing that we're going to be able to give our users is this request that they've had a long time for their workflows is metrics and loggings within their workflows. And so that's something that we're now actually able to do as we've been able to upgrade. The general lessons that we've learned is reproducible and redeployable are good, documentation, shared knowledge are good, and focus on your people. And that's the advice that we give to other people as well. GitOps workflows are great, prioritizing people and document many, many things. And then the very last thing is to come to places like this, learn about emerging tools and recent developments and things that are compatible for your needs. That's the end of my talk. If any follow-up questions, send me an email or contact us. Cool.